I'm sure all of you would like to know a little more about AI tools. And some of you may have attended my previous session, so it may be a bit of an overlap, but it's always nice to refresh. And in fact, I sometimes add a couple of tools. In every week or month, a new tool pops up. So if you have already attended this session, uh, this could serve as a refresher, and keep your questions ready as well. So this is just an example on how AI, like for all those who are still not very sure whether they should use AI, think back to the time some of you, I don't know, maybe if you did your PhD 20, 30 years ago, you would be familiar with these index cards. So long before, internet and things like the Google Scholar, you had to manually search for literature go to the library, pick up your cycle to the library, go through these index cards and search for the literature. Then a few years later came the CD-ROM system. So it was on compact discs. There would be these databases of literature. Then came, of course, Google Scholar and those kind of databases. And now going a step further, you have AI-powered tools that will do your referencing for you. They will do citation tracing and trails. You can do forward and backward referencing. It will find studies that agree or disagree with a particular paper, and it's very, very comprehensive now. So can you imagine how much time it saves just sitting maybe in your room, in your hostel? You can access the literature. You don't have to go to the library anymore. So very quickly, some AI tools for general tasks. Some of you may have used them, maybe not. Chatbots for just quick questions. Of course, there's ChatGPT, Claude, all these. Of these, I would say I find Claude most trustworthy. Its answers don't have much hallucination. ChatGPT, so the OpenAI one, there has been a lot of recent conversation around OpenAI versus Anthropic. And Anthropic is slightly more, they are more focused on the guardrails and the good practices, whereas OpenAI is all about innovation, even at the cost of, whether it's unethical or not. So I would say if you had to choose between ChatGPT and Claude, go for Claude, or even Gemini. Even Perplexity is quite okay. If you're into building apps, there's Bubble, Bolt, Flutterflow. There are so many app building AI tools. Project management, Asana, ClickUp, Reclaim, Clockwise. Image generation, Midjourney. And again, so many have come up recently, right? Nano Banana, Paper Banana, things like that. For graphic design, Mind the Graph, Canva. For presentations, go beyond PowerPoint. I would say explore some of these other options. Mind the Graph, Gamma, Presentations AI, Beautiful AI. Grammar and writing improvement. Now, PaperPal, Grammarly, WordTune, these are for very general writing improvement, for like an email or something like that. But when it comes to academic writing and editing, I will talk about those tools in a moment. Resume builders, there's Kick Resume, Teal, Resi, and many more. Specifically for researcher needs, there are AI tools to help with your writing, for literature search, for illustrations, search engines, data analysis, reading. Broadly, these are your needs. And under these, there are so many examples. Now for drafting and outlining documents. So AI tools such as PaperPal can actually help you from start to finish. So as I said, brainstorming, drafting, sometimes that blank page, you don't know how to start. So they kind of give you a bit of a springboard to start your outline. It can help you structure your ideas. How can you arrange your thoughts? How can you arrange your content? And then, of course, to polish and review your content for grammar, sentence construction, rephrasing, paraphrasing, conciseness. You have a large body of text, you want to shorten it, transform bullet points into sentences or vice versa. All these are some tools, some aspects where AI tools can help in your writing. But always critically review the output. Don't just believe whatever it spits out. It can also help in managing information overload. So long meeting threads, long extensive text and emails, it can summarize. And if you want to generate questions about a topic, imagine that's your thinking partner and ask it questions, review the answers, keep building on those questions and move like that. If you want to adapt your content, you have a scientific paper, you want to create it into a popular science article, maybe a tool can help you with that. Tools for searching the literature. So while these are not AI tools, we all know that there are these general and special indexes. You might have used some of these, right? Web of Science, DOAJ, Google Scholar, and PubMed, and all these. When you search the literature, try to use as many databases as you can. And at this stage, please remember, this is not where you use ChatGPT, because this is where ChatGPT can hallucinate or create references that sound very legitimate. They will sound like a proper paper with volume number, year, everything, and it will be, most often, it is wrong. So don't use tools like that. Keep track of your searches and whatever you have saved. Specifically for literature review and citation intelligence, there are some really fantastic tools. Many of them are the freemium model, so even the free version is quite good, and if you pay, then it's even more, it's even better. I think Research Rabbit, to my knowledge, is free, but some of you may have used some of these tools. Research Rabbit, R Discovery, Lit Maps, Cite, Connected Papers, SciSpace, and Google has also come up with an AI version called Scholar Labs. So try these out if you haven't already. Systematic reviews is where you can actually really make the most of AI tools. So for screening papers, you can use, hundreds and hundreds of papers. It is impossible to manually go through them. There's Ryan and Distiller SR. To extract extensive data, there's Elicit and Robo Reviewer. And then to synthesize it, of course, there's PaperPal, Research Rapid Cite, Consensus, etc. Literature review, basically, the 3 steps are to find content, to consume it, that is to get chat with a PDF, translate it, and then analyze or synthesize it. And AI tools help with all these steps. So PaperPal's Research and Cite feature has a chat PDF option. If you've not done it yet, try it. It can identify gaps. So just ask a general question. So if you're still not sure what your research question should be, and it will help you generate research questions by identifying gap based on the corpus of the literature that they have. Paper tools for reading and summarizing. Now, this is one place where I don't fully agree. I really believe that researchers should read papers end to end. But if there is a time constraint and you have to read a lot of papers and you have to cover a lot of ground, then maybe you can resort to these. Scholar-C, Speechify, SciSummary, even Chat PDF. So they will give you, you ask it a question and it will summarize the paper or give you broad points and things like that. Daily papers by Hugging Face. That's really nice. It gives a daily summary of important papers in a particular field. But as I said, use it only with large volumes. Prefer your own reading and summarizing skills. You don't want to erode your critical thinking skills. You can also use AI tools for brainstorming, writing and editing, note-taking. If you don't want to take notes by hand, there are AI tools for that. Even PaperPal has a Save to Notes feature. To overcome writer's block, there is a Write and Outlines feature in PaperPal. So just have a look. So you can write a paragraph on, extract key takeaways, use your notes. So maybe you have notes, you upload it and ask it to develop a structure. That's perfectly fine. This is the outline feature. So, it's given an outline. It's not generated any new text, but it's just given how you may structure your paper. AI tools for writing and editing, PaperPal, Jenny, WriteWise, Quillbot, Trinka. So all of them have similar features. It just depends on what they have been trained on. PaperPal has been trained on millions of actual research papers. So that makes it a little more reliable.